Okay, let's talk bits and off-the-track thoroughbreds. So part of my training for my job was to get a bit fitting done, and that's because there's a bit brand that's included in my portfolio. And the theory was that if I get a bit fitting done, then I would have a better understanding of the types of products that are offered. And yes, I agreed, but I also freaked out because me and Sapien had just kind of started exploring our dressage journey at this point, but we were really struggling with contact, and I thought these people are going to think that I'm having a bloody laugh. Before I get into that and how awesome it actually was, I do want to take you guys on a little side quest to Officeworks because I have something super fun planned for tomorrow to kind of expand a bit on my brand partnerships video that I posted last week. So keep an eye on this page tomorrow for a bit of an update about that. Right, so what did I learn? Number one thing that I learned was heaps about my horse's mouth conformation. I learned that there are somewhat a couple of different types of thoroughbreds, and Sapien is more of what they call an American style thoroughbred. Now, a key indicator of an American style thoroughbred is a very short smile, which Sapien has, as you can see there. A more English style is going to have a longer smile and be probably a bigger boned and chunkier style of horse. I always kind of knew that Sapien was a very small thoroughbred, but I suppose I didn't really understand why or really think about it. Sorry, this is some B-roll of him having a roll. But it was really cool to kind of get that knowledge and have a bit of a better understanding about the breeding of my horse. The next thing that I learned was that thoroughbreds often have quite a narrow jaw, just again due to their breeding. So this means they might not need, I suppose, as wide a bit as you think it would, and why it's super important to measure your horse's mouth when you are getting a bit for them. So they then assessed Sapien's mouth, and we discovered that he had a very sensitive tongue, which made perfect sense. At this point, I had him in a single joint snaffle, and it kind of creates a bit of a nutcracker action on the tongue and puts a lot of pressure on one point of the tongue. So anytime I would kind of ask for a halt or any contact, he would just throw his head in the air because he was just so, I suppose, offended by the pressure on his tongue. After we tried a couple of different bits, we settled on the Bomber's ported barrel. Now, the ported barrel kind of dealt with a few of the issues. The first thing was that it had a port, which meant that Sapien's tongue could find the relief that it needed. It also has the barrel joint, which spins around, and you also get the added luxury of it being a semi-broken bit, which means that you can get movement on the left rein and the right rein kind of independent of each other. The other thing that I learned when I was doing this bit fitting is that a lot of these newer style bits that have higher functionality actually wear out over time. Now, like in my mind with my old kind of like coarse steel style bit, like they would outlive you. But these days, that's just not the same. So I now include my bit in all of my gear checks. Bombers have a lifetime guarantee on all their sweet iron bits that are worn, so they'll just replace it for free. I felt like the bit fitting was such a positive experience for me and my horse, number one, and number two, also for my knowledge, because I did actually learn quite a bit about the other styles of bits. So overall, if you're thinking about getting a bit fitting, please do. Anyway, thank you for coming to my TED Talk.